Hi, I'm Jana Gibbons. I'm the family advocate from our remark. So last week we talked about what smart connections were and what this was going to look like. This week we're going to be explaining the brain state model and what that is. So you may hear someone in the classroom or on a home visit talking about being in the trunk of their car or even the front seat. These are all terms that we use to describe the state our brain is in. We talked about conscious discipline and that it's one of our social emotional curriculums that we use in the classroom and within our home visits. This curriculum helps to teach us to use everyday events to help with social emotional skills. Our teachers and family educators use a brain building and skill building tools in the classroom and on home visits to help support this and to teach children how to use self-regulation skills. So instead of having a week-long lessons to teach self-regulation, children can just go to somewhere in the classroom or in their home that's typically a safe place. They learn how to use self-regulation skills in the actual moment that they're experiencing that upset. So learning this skill in context wires the brain to access and utilize those skills more readily the next time they encounter any kind of situation that causes upset for them. Conscious discipline and Trauma Smart both use a brain state model. And this helps us to understand an internal brain and body states in relation to discipline and learning. So the brain state model, there's 3 brain state models. You might have the trunk or the survival state. It could be an emotional state where you're in the back seat, or the executive state, which is the front seat. And we draw on certain skills from each brain and body state. So the survival state, you could be in the trunk, and they're seeking safety. They're seeking security. So you may see hiding, fighting, a physical reaction, kicking, throwing things, anything like that, because they're seeking some kind of security. When an adult or child is in the emotional state or in the back seat, they're seeking love or a connection. You may hear them having back talk, sassing, yelling, or some kind of verbal reaction because they're needing some kind of connection or attention. When somebody's in the executive state or the front seat of their car, they're able to have unlimited skills, they can problem solve, they have wisdom, they can work through really anything. So conscious discipline empowers us to be conscious of our brain and body state and our children and ourselves. So when we understand these brain and body states, we understand how to respond to children's behaviors in helpful ways. We understand that children who talk back from an emotional state can't think clearly enough to problem solve or answer us with anything but some kind of attitude because they haven't reached that state of calm yet. So when we focus to help children who are operating from a physical or survival state, say the trunk, we become more integrated so that we can access those thinking brain skills, the executive state skills. So for an example, when an adult or a child is in an escalated state, they may be in the trunk or back seat of their car. They cannot effectively communicate when they are like that because they can't think past what has them upset. That is why it's so important to help give them some time to calm down. And once a person has calmed themselves down and they're no longer in an escalated state, then they're able to effectively communicate any fears, concerns, or problems that they may have. So it's also important to remember that when a person is in an escalated state, to validate the feelings of the child. When a child is in the classroom having a rough time, you may see a teacher get on the floor, look the child in the eye and say something like, I see that you're very angry or you're very upset. Do you need a minute to calm down? Can I help you? Sometimes we might ask a child to breathe with us. So I may say, okay, let's breathe for a minute. So we're going to breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. And usually the staff will do that with them. Within a few minutes, the child is able to calm themselves down enough that they're able to tell us what has them upset or what has made them angry. So I hope this has given you a better understanding of the brain state models and how the brain works. If you have any questions, you feel free to call your teacher, your family educator, family advocate, or your manager. Next week, we'll be talking about the importance of connection, the various ways we seek out connection, and the importance of self-care. Thanks for watching.